My parents, they own McDonald's franchises.
Oh, I care about other things as well. Been trying to become more politically active for like socialism and stuff like that.
Just leave the animals out. They are the most innocent. They never did anything wrong to the humans.
I agree with
so that is why I prioritize this injustice over the others. Okay, so you're vegan?
Yes, I am. We
Yes.
are. We are vegan.
What made you become vegan?
Love of animals mainly as the first reason. That was the first reason, and then obviously it links to climate and health as well.
Okay, and you too?
Yes, well, I became vegan, then vegetarian, and I've been doing yoga for so many years. And one of my mantras was that I wish that all beings in the world would be free of suffering. And one day it clicked in my head that I was part of the suffering.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped and then became vegan.
My parents, they own McDonald's franchises. One day I just decided to try veganism for a month because I had really bad skin condition for all my life. The doctor did tell me to reduce my intake of red meat and stuff like that. So one day a random video started playing. It was like Joey Carbstrong. I wasn't even listening to it. I was just on my phone. He was saying, what's more important, taste or life? That really clicked. From then on, I started researching more about vegan debates and vegan outreach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's when I came onto the street outreach videos, and that's when I started looking for answers for eating meat. And I couldn't find any answers. It was literally as simple as 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
Deconstructing religion was a big part because it made me try to figure out my actual moral compass, what's actually morally right for me, instead of what other people are telling me what is actually moral and correct. And so yeah, a lot of philosophical stuff. Went down sort of a rabbit hole on YouTube, and yeah, it just was very convincing, and there was no argument against it. So it was like very easy to go vegan.
A lot of vegans know what it means to be vegan in practice, but they don't know that it means that it is only about the exploitation of animals. And it's only about the victims, like the animals, and not about like environment, health, or any other stuff. Yeah. Actually, there's a thing, a lot of vegans know what it means to be vegan in practice, like not using animals for any purpose, for example, for food, but also for clothing and entertainment purposes. But a lot of people actually don't know the original definition. Do you know it by any chance?
I don't know. What's the original definition?
Okay, the original definition is, you want to read it out?
The ethical principle that humans should live without exploiting other animals.
Yes, so the focus is only on the animals, on the victims in this situation. Like, I mean, you can pay attention to other stuff like your own health and and the environment, but in this case, the victims should deserve a movement for themselves. Like, that is only dedicated to their right to not be exploited, right? And considering how big this injustice is, there's a big urgency coming with it. So, would you say it's okay not to be vegan?
No.
No.
We would want everyone to be vegan.
Yes, then that should be the goal, right? So actually, most vegans already know what it means to be vegan in practice, like not consuming meat, milk, and eggs, but also not participating in other forms of exploitation, like leather, fur, zoos, circuses, right, or animal testing. But most vegans I talk to actually don't know the original definition. Do you know it?
It's like I just saw like a little poster about it. It's like trying to reduce as much harm as that's practical or possible, essentially, to like animals and the environment.
We actually want to have a bulletproof definition. If you get a crop field, you might kill a lot of insects. Like, that is also harm. So it is not about harm. Veganism is about exploitation. So basically viewing animals as a product, viewing them as something rather than someone. So essentially, to make it short, veganism is the ethical principle that humans should live without exploiting other animals. Like, acknowledging other animals. It's not about us humans, it's not about our health, it's not about our environment, it's about them, it's about the victims.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, exploitation being the focus point, And in that umbrella, I guess harm would be under that.
Yeah, of course. Exploitation involves harming animals, of course, but it is in general the problem is that animals are viewed as objects also in other things where they are not harmed. Like, for example, if you use them in different ways for entertainment, you might give them the best food, or for example, backyard eggs. You don't harm them, you treat them as they were your family, but you still see them as resource.
Yeah, as a
and that
product.
mindset, like this is the original mindset that led to the whole big farms, because at some point someone was like, okay, what comes out of your ass I'm gonna use, and you are the production unit for me.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say it's okay not to be vegan?
Well, no. I think anybody that, if they knew, I can speak certainly for friends of mine who they see a steak on a plate as a product rather than it was a living,
individual,
you know, like caring animal, just like we are. Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about your health. It doesn't say anything about the environment. It's not about us. One time it is about other animals, and that they are victims of us, of our crazy idea that they are objects to use. And we can get rid of this by actually being vegan consistently and by speaking up for them.
100%.
Right?
That's the best thing to do. Yeah, because when I first started, everyone's saying, "Oh, your parents own McDonald's restaurants, so you've got all the options you want. How are you vegan?" Therefore, I was just bluffing for the first couple of weeks. I didn't think I'd stick to it, but now I'm 7 years deep in being vegan, and I'm not touching any animal products at all.
You know, I'm not a friend of things like when people talk about a vegan journey, or it is actually just not doing anymore what you never should have done. Like using someone else's body for your own personal selfish needs. So it's not a journey after all. If you see the truth, it is a decision to make. You agree with that?
100%, but I also feel like it's the Matrix program mind conditioning that we have to have the journey to break free from. That's what I feel, because obviously some people, it takes a lot of time with tradition and family and stuff like that. But then for me, it was a journey because it led me to finally realize and have that spark moment that, hang on a moment, I've just broken free, like my mind's just open to the whole idea of veganism.
But the moment you understood veganism truly, it is a decision to say, from now on, I will never objectify animals anymore.
Yeah, I'll never objectify animals anymore, and me personally, I've stepped away from the company as well and don't work for them anymore.
Yeah. So you agree that we as vegans should actively defend animals?
Yes.
How would you want to be defended if you were the animal?
I would ever want to come collectively and fight for me and for my life. But I guess there's many ways you could defend. Yeah.
Well, what kind of activism do you do?
Well, talking to friends and families and trying to encourage them to go more plant-based, gradually, or cut down on meat. And I guess everyone's got a different way of how they do the activism, I guess.
So actually, that is the thing. You have a limited amount of friend circle and people you know, and at some point you might make the experience that not all of them are open to change.
Yeah.
So that could get a little bit frustrating. In the public or online, there's actually constant stream of new people, and you can kind of sort them out. Not reachable, oh, reachable, I talk to you and make you vegan. And this is why I think it's so important to go outside your own bubble and speak to anyone you can to hold them accountable, and our organization provides the communication you need. Would you say it's okay not to be vegan?
No, it's not. It's immoral to not be vegan.
Yes, of course. And would you say we vegans should actively defend animals?
Yes, actively. Yeah, it should be, like, in my opinion, scripted in law for it to be illegal to exploit animals.
Yeah.
And
how do we get there? What are you doing to get there?
Me personally, I've only been doing, just me personally, not participating in, non-vegan practices, trying to support vegan companies and vegan products, but nothing like
that sounds
crazy.
like very passive, you know.
It is, I agree.
Because being vegan is actually a thing. You stop taking something that was never yours.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and being
exactly.
active is saying, hey, other people, stop taking it also.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it should be the default for everyone to be vegan. I
Yeah.
agree. I guess.
And we are in an unbalance here, in a imbalance here. We already got more people who are not the default.
Yeah.
So in order to get the new default, we need to compensate for that. Because
Yeah.
who are the only ones in this society who can speak up for the animals?
Yeah, us humans. Yeah, the vegans.
Us vegans,
Yeah.
yes. And we are like such a small amount of percentage. So it is like we understand what is going on. We see the injustice happening, so we should speak up about it, right?
Yeah.
And a way we do it is like for AV, street. I wouldn't say it's debates, it's conversations, it's holding people accountable for what they do. It is not discussing if the animals should have a right to not be exploited. It is about demanding this right. We are long overdue. People know that it is wrong. They can feel the situation out of their eyes. So it shouldn't be a debate. There's no debate here. It should be understanding that they are hypocrites, understanding that they are the worst humans possible to these victims, and then making a change. And we got the communication way to actually teach people about to do that. So next step is to be active, to speak up for the animals. You already do that?
Yeah, I do a lot of that already, and a lot of people do ask me a lot of questions when they see me about veganism and how it's going and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people have seen the positive benefits with me being vegan, and that has opened a lot of people's eyes to knowing that vegan doesn't make you less strong or more weak. You know what I mean? And when I'm on holiday and we're going on big walks with my friends, the non-vegans are the ones with their legs are getting tired first, and I'm like, hang on, I'm vegan here. I should be the one saying, oh, my legs are tired first, with the lack of protein, as you say.
Yeah. That's always bullshit. But it's also most of the time deflection, because I think all of these things, like also when people say plants have feelings, they run over this field with all the plants, but they don't care. They don't watch every step and say sorry. No, they actually don't really care about plants. It is just a deflection from the feeling that they know the vegans are right, from knowing they are hypocrites, and from understanding that they are doing the worst thing possible to these innocent animals. Animals are in this situation right now, and they won't be free just from waiting for it. So do you agree that we vegans should actively defend animals?
Yes, very much, yeah.
Yeah, and this is a way that you can actively defend animals. We focus on communication and holding non-vegans accountable for what they still do. We don't want to like advertise it as a good way of living or whatever. We don't want to like tell them, oh, you can be healthy or whatever. We want to tell them the truth about what is going on because of them, and how they can change in order to not be part of it anymore and to not be responsible anymore for what is happening. So it is a very direct approach, but the positive part of it, it is truthful, it is honest, and it is just basically telling them what they need to hear in order to make a change. You agree with that?
Very much, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
So
I know with I'll quite often show friends of mine who they're ignorant rather than do it on purpose, like eating meat, drinking dairy. And I will quite often show them the truth. They have this vision of cows chewing beautiful green lush
and
grass.
that's where we need to first of all educate them about what is really going on, and second, hold them accountable for what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And there are unreachable people, and you will notice that there are unreachable people within your friend zone or in your the people you know in the circle. But the good thing about street activism is you get constant stream of people, either they are reachable or not. So you can pick them out. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you because you say plants have feelings, and that's stupid. And the other ones are, oh yeah, I'm actually open to your message, and you focus on them, making them vegan, making them an activist, and then we can get rid of this fucked up industry as fast as possible, right?
Which is the third element, isn't it? The people who actually run the businesses, who are just couldn't care less about the welfare of the animals as long as they're profitable.
Yeah.
They're different to trying to convert someone who's ignorant of those facts, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just exploiting anything they can to make.
I mean, after all, it's all about money. But if we reach the consumers, if we reach the personal accountability of those, and if we reach the minds of them, like viewing animals as an object, that is the core problem, the mindset. If we can get rid of this mindset in this society, and that is by doing this kind of activism, then we can step forward to get rid of everything that is stick to it.
Well, you're very much preaching to the converted here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm a musician. I play at quite a lot of these festivals, animal rights festivals, and
nice.
You know, vegan, plant-based.
And now active with AV too?
Yeah, I'll do, you know, anything I can do.
I give you a card, so you can find us. Are you from the UK?
Yes,
Yeah.
Manchester.
I know in Manchester there's currently no chapter, sadly, but it is a big city, so we need actually people to step up to be an organizer for this organization, and you are provided with the knowledge, with the information, with all you need in order to get it started, and then the people will follow, because we have a worldwide network and people will always find the chapter they want to go to.
Well, I'll give you my word. I'll certainly have a look into that.
Yeah. So if there's no chapter near your area, definitely consider to become an organizer. We need people. Like just imagine you were the animal, you were now in the victim's position. What would be your wish to this man here? Like, we give it to anyone for free because we learned from the experience of doing this on the streets. Me personally, I talked to over 10,000 of people to really get to understand which questions are sticking to the people. So it is not really about asking them, maybe think about it a little bit, think about getting more plant-based. I show you a little bit more recipes. It's about like the most simple thing. In the position of the animal, you would just demand to be freed. Even with violence, gun violence, you would like to be freed. So the least we can do is actually find the correct words to represent the victims, right? And the thing we do is hold them accountable, put them in the victim's position to make them understand the urgency, and finally call them to action, declaring to be vegan right now, and also to be active. And it actually works. Okay. So I'm interested in also coming to a Cube of Truth, which is our action. We have these masks and show on the screens, not a sign, but on the screens the animal exploitation.
We were actually just talking about it.
Because we do follow you guys on Instagram.
Yeah. So it's something we would consider doing and participating every now and then, you know.
And we need to call them out on it. I want to give you a card, Activism 101. It provides you with the tools to really be a great communicator. Like you saw the videos of us, of our street outreach. This is actually teaching you to know the right things to say in the right moments.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn currently. As I'm watching more videos, and that's the best way. I learn from seeing. So as I'm watching, that's the best way for me to learn.
If you were in this position, you would want the humans to do their best to speak up for them. Because the difference between any other injustice on this world and this injustice is that those animals are not even able to raise their own voice against the humans. Yeah. That is why we need to take over, because we vegans are the only hope. So
we're prepared to commit atrocities between ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
At some level, you know, like we've got some horrendous stuff going on in the Middle East, haven't we, at the moment?
Yeah.
That's just evil.
Yeah.
But I think it's equally evil to.
Yeah. And you know what both sides of these conflicts still do? They exploit animals to death. And that's why I think before we kill each other, like just leave the animals out. Just leave. They are the most innocent. They never did anything wrong to the humans.
I agree with
so that is why I prioritize this injustice over the others, because this is actually the most oppressed group in the history of humans ever. You agree?
I do agree. Yeah.
So then, keep being more active now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
and take on it. What's your name?
Peter.
Oliver.
Being vegan is easy, but I guess being like a animal rights activist that is doing something active and does take like energy, but it's for a right cause. But at the same time, I mean, I care about other things as well. I've been trying to become more politically active for like socialism and stuff like that. And for me, that is, I guess, I don't know. Obviously, I could probably find time to do both, but I'm not in a time.
You know what I also mean by being active is not be silent about it in any situation. If you're there at your political thing and they say, hey, let's organize a barbecue or whatever, and then you say, wait a second, we should be against discrimination. What about those animals?
100%. Yeah, I have definitely advocated for vegan rights in my political groups that have nothing to do with veganism, but for socialism. And I feel like I've been able to make my point in seeing how those two things intersect. Socialism, like communism, and veganism, because I mean, if you don't want to exploit human beings for their labor, why are you wanting to exploit animals for theirs? So,
but I would still say, considering all injustices that are happening in this world, considering how long and how many victims this exploitation industry of animals has, it should be a priority, because what we humans do to each other, of course, that's fucked up. But before we like fight against each other, we should at least exclude others who never did anything wrong to us, right?
Agree.
And that's why I think we should prioritize that. And before we kill ourselves, we should just leave them alone, right?
Yeah, I do agree.
Oh, we need people to be more focused on the victims and less focused on all the other stuff that is stick to it. Yeah, you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
It's funny because we're actually talking about you guys as you approached us. As we were saying, like, this is something which we would like do and participate as well. So
So active now, 100%. Thank you. Then
so much.
have a nice vegan day.
Thank you.
So, what do you think about vegan bodybuilders? Because, like you said, like that. With harm reduction in veganism, but obviously you said specifically to focus on exploitation. The fact that that there are crop killings and getting vegan food, do you think it's immoral for a person to eat in excess calories, knowing that they are likely harming insects or rodents and stuff in doing that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I already thought about that. But if you start thinking like this, you could, there's no line, because if you say, oh, you don't need that much calories, oh, then you also don't need to eat that. You can just get the calories from the most sustainable source. And if you do that, but wait a second, you're living in a city, you don't need transportation necessarily. You could reduce that, and then at some point you end up in a forest, and you just live there in your cabin, and then you realize, wait a second, I'm still breathing in the what do you say it, the air, and breathing out the CO2. So should I kill myself? But that's the thing. I can be on the same page when it comes to thinking more sustainably, but after all, we live in this world. No one ever decided to be in this world,
right?
So we should at least have a little bit of freedom,
right?
But that is the thing with exploitation. There is a clear line. Not viewing someone as an object is a clear thing,
right?
And we can avoid that, but we can never really get to the point to reduce as much harm as possible. Because we would end up killing ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, I agree, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to see your take on it.
Okay, you got a card, sir?
No, I do not.
Okay, then take it.
Thank you.
Go to activism101.com and be the best voice for the animals you can be. Yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Artist.
Oliver. Bye.
Big business, putting money before